Welcome to Misscliks D&D. I'm your dungeon master, Anna Prosser Robinson. I've been meaning to say that for a long time. How does it feel, folks? How does it feel?
I'm excited.
I'm a little terrified.
So excited. All my pets are gonna live.
If you guys have never tuned in before, I know a lot of people came over from Dice Camera Action or maybe from some tweets that were made today. I want to give you guys a little bit of insight as to what Misscliks D&D is. This is the, at least most of the crew that I started playing D&D with when I first started playing D&D ever, and that was on this channel at this exact same time 5 years ago. So we have been playing together a long time. We most recently played Misscliks D&D Devotion, which was a very strange homebrew relationship-based game. And we just finished that, so I'm taking the interim between that and whatever we do next to do my first dungeon mastering. And I'm getting over a horrible cough, so I'm going to try to do as many voices as I can and not cough at you guys. But what we're doing is we're taking the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons starter set, which is a box that comes with dice and character sheets and abbreviated versions of rules and an adventure called The Lost Mines of Phandelver. And it's built so that anyone, if they haven't played Dungeons & Dragons before, can get the basics down and start from the beginning with friends, even if they don't know how to play. So considering that I do vaguely know how to play, but I've never dungeon mastered before, I thought it'd be fun for all of us to go through that experience together. So if you've never DM'd before, if you've never played before, you can experience what it's like to start from the very, very beginning. So before we get started, will all the players just introduce their real selves so that the people who are watching can know who you guys are and what you do? Starting with Neil.
Hey everybody, I'm Neil Gallery Koivu, Pass Erickson. I run a D&D stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Koivu, and I just do D&D stuff like all the time. And that's literally my entire life. I don't do anything else.
Jen.
Yeah. I'm Jen. I used to stream a lot of StarCraft and do some YouTube content, and then I worked at Ubisoft on Rainbow Six for 4 years, and then on Far Cry. Now I'm a new company working on a mysterious new IP at Behavior, and someday the truth shall be revealed.
I'm just going in order down the screen. Trump, how about you?
Hey, I'm Trump. I mainly stream Hearthstone. You can catch me at twitch.tv or YouTube, TrumpSC. And I am playing Lilo, the Halfling Rogue. It's going to be very exciting.
And V.
Hi, I'm V, or V Parlofoy, and I'm Variety Caster on Twitch. My 3-year partnership anniversary today, actually.
Woo!
And I am playing Desdonia, the wizard elf. So.
I didn't know it was your partner anniversary. That's so exciting. Yeah. Everybody give V lots of bleed purples in chat for her partner anniversary. And if you don't know me, I'm Anna Prosser Robinson. I work full-time for Twitch as lead producer for Twitch Studios, but you may know me better from streaming here on Twitch, either Dungeons & Dragons content, other stuff here on Misscliks, or being a host and interviewer for lots of gaming or esports tournaments. So all of us came together mostly through video games, and we are here because we love role-playing games. And I shan't delay any further. Let's get into the game. All right.
Begin.
Yes, I'm very nervous. Going to do fine. All right. Now, again, we're doing this as a learning experience. So if you have never, tried this before, the way an adventure works is it gives you no peeking players, but it gives you kind of an idea of what you're supposed to do. And then there are boxes where you get to actually read what's happening. So one of the things that you get to read is the beginning of the adventure. So I shall do that now. In the city of Neverwinter, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker asked you, the party, to bring a wagon load of provisions to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandalin, a couple of days' travel southeast of the city. Gundren was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about his reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandalin. He then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming he needed to arrive early to take care of business. You spent the last few days following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along the Tribor Trail. You've encountered no trouble so far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail. And I'm going to bring you now, players, in Roll20 to the Sword Coast map, where you can see Neverwinter in kind of the northwest, and the high road leading down all the way to the Tribor. I did. No, I didn't. Dang it. Baby DM. There we go. Now you're there. You should be. Yeah. And you can see there's the Tribor Trail. And hopefully that's all you can see. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. So you've been meandering along the high road. You guys are a rugged group of adventurers, and you're escorting this wagon. And I'm curious if you could describe for me one by one your characters. What do they look like? What do we notice about them as we come into the scene? Let's start with our fighter.
There two of us?
There is only one fighter.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Hi guys. My name is Guy Claypool here. My family used to live in, where does it say in my notes? In Thunder Tree, but like things went really poorly. I think there was like a volcanic eruption or a dragon or something. I was a little baby and like we had to get out of there. So like now I'm just trying to raise some money for my family so like they don't have to be like laborers anymore. I'm really a lover on the inside, not a fighter, but like sometimes good people have to do bad things in order to like make life better for everyone. So that's why I got the bow and the big sword, Grandpa's sword. And yeah, man, I'm just like eager to deliver these supplies.
What do you look like, Guy?
I'm like 5'8", like 140 pounds, 150 pounds, like kind of slender, maybe a little malnourished. I got like the clothes of my people on because I'm not like pretentious or anything. And like these sandals are like the sandals that my cousin makes, like down by the docks. And these pants have been patched up a dozen times by my mom because she's like a loving person and like keeps the same cloth going over and over again. And, like
I get the sense that you like to show that you don't care much about material things.
Yeah, I just think like we shouldn't be so concerned with the materialism in the world. It's all about like who you know and what you do in life, not like how much wealth you have. And so like I kind of feel like it's my mission to help other people embrace the philosophy of like it's just money, who cares?
Right. Gotcha. But you did say you were trying to provide for your family, right? So what are you trying to do?
So hard down on the docks. My pa threw out his back last month and like he can't work and we're going to starve to death. So I've already forgotten your question entirely. What were you saying?
Yeah. Well, it's like material things don't matter to you, but you're kind of being forced to focus on that right now. It sounds like
life is hard, man. You can't always live your ideals. You just got to do the best every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about our wizard? Who's our wizard?
That would be me, Desdonia.
And Desdonia, what tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a wizard, and I am also from an elf. I adorn a silver dress and robes, and my hair matches my robes as well.
So you kind of like to maintain a very pristine exterior, right?
Yes, I do.
And you're a wizard, and I know that your spell book is very important to you. Tell me about your life as a wizard.
Very important. I'm always looking for new spells.
And
ones that will aid me on my journey.
Would you say that you're out here because you want to look for new spells, or is there some other reason that's brought you out here into this adventuring life?
I will be doing something. I don't know how much I should tell anyone of what I'm doing, but it might have something to do with an altar.
I see. Very secretive. So you're not letting anyone in on what you're up to. Gotcha.
No, they might ruin my plans.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what about our halfling rogue, Lilo?
Hey there, my name's Lilo. I'm a halfling rogue. I stand a mighty 3 feet tall, and I'm always all smiles throughout the entire journey. My hands have been just very deftly shuffling a deck of cards like an accordion. I have 2 short swords along my belt. I'm clad in leather armor. Picture any of the halflings from General Lord of the Rings. That's what I look like. Got the brown curly hair and just all smiles as I'm on the journey. Easy money.
Easy money. I see. And you're shuffling these cards. What kind of cards are they? What are they for?
A good old dragon deck. It's one of those. I forget the exact name of it right now, but it's a very popularly played game around the entire realms.
Would you say that you're one of the top players in that well-known game? Like if there were a ladder, let's say.
I wouldn't be so, bold to claim that. I mainly play for fun.
I see. And you said you're there for easy money. So the adventurer life, is it just something you kind of fell into because you like to make good money, or what is it that brought you out here?
I'm a halfling. I like to go wherever adventure calls. So that's all there is to it.
And what did you leave behind? When did you start the adventuring life?
Just fairly recently. I know a guy who knows a guy. I might need a thing, do a thing. Something will happen.
All right. So a little bit secretive as well, but maybe more on the kind of wherever life leads type of adventure, huh?
Exactly.
All right. And finally, I want to get to know our dwarf cleric, Thoradin. What are you like, Thoradin?
Well, I'm Thoradin Frostbeard. I'm a cleric of Math Morduin, and I'm the Punisher of the Red Brands.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's start with the Red Brands. You're the Punisher of the Red Brands. What does that mean?
Oh, I have to teach them a lesson.
And why is that? Tell me about your god that you worship.
Wait. I have more about the Red Brands.
The Red Brands. Tell me more.
They're thugs. They've been throwing their weight around in Fadalin, and I don't like it. They're villains, and I have to take them down. That's why I'm out here.
Funny that you should mention that. I don't like these Red Brands guys either.
Yeah. Bad people.
Part of the reason why I'm heading this way, and I wasn't going to let loose until you got that information out there, but they got a hit out for me. But I
no! What did you do to them?
So we're gonna make sure that we show them they get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
I bet that's probably where you guys kind of joined together is figuring out that you both had this vendetta against the Red Brands. But let's dive more into that in just a second, because I want to hear, Thoradin, what do you look like?
I'm a sturdy little man. I don't know if I can keep up that voice. I'm a dwarven cleric. I got a white beard, which I like to braid, but I make it look natural because I'm really manly, and it's not that manly to braid your beard.
Well, maybe it is for a dwarf cleric.
I say my wife does it.
Okay.
But
does your wife braid her beard too? Do you both braid your beards together?
I actually braid hers too.
That's good.
I'm really into hairstyles, let's be honest.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you have a special penchant for hairstyles. I'm wondering, because you're a cleric, does that maybe have something to do with, your worship of your god, or is that something that your god, is into, is beauty? Tell me a little bit about your worship of your deity.
Well, I'm not sure if my god cares at all about my beard, to be honest, but I'd like to think he cares about all of us.
What does your god want? What deity, what type of deity is he?
Let me see.
You can make it up if you want to. I don't care. This is the Wild West.
Nature.
Ah.
Nature and doing what's right.
Great. All right. Well, speaking of nature, you guys are walking along. You're in this group, got this wagon. I want to know how the party thinks that they came together. I mean, you've been adventuring together for a while. It's not rare that you guys would be doing something like escorting a wagon for 10 gold pieces each. I know that the red brands are already kind of a commonality that we have between Lilo and Thoradin. So, I'm sure that they had that in common. But how else did you guys meet?
Oh, Snape Thoradin, was braiding his beard, or his wife was braiding his beard, and I happened to have these seashells that, would have looked really good. So I asked his wife if she would braid some into his beard, and he said...
Sure, she'll do it tonight. She'll do it tonight. And then I quickly did it myself.
So you have seashells in your beard now? Is that something that... Mm-hmm. So that's something that you and Guy kind of have a special bond over, right? The guy gets your beard braiding?
Yeah, I think he's into it too.
Mm-hmm.
I like keeping it short, so my soup doesn't get caught in it, but I think it's really cool to do that.
Nice. And that was how you met, and then you just both, I guess, realized that you had a penchant for adventuring?
He complimented me on my beard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think he had this job lined up, and he offered it to me because I've got some weapons on hand, and I was like, I need some money, so
Yeah, that makes sense. Thoradin, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Thoradin, you are related to Gundren Rockseeker. I think he's your cousin. So it would make sense that, you had this job lined up and you were maybe looking for people to help you with it. And I don't know if you've adventured with this crew before, but how do you think, Thoradin and Desdonia, how did you guys meet?
Well, I saw this group of diverse people, and since I'm always on the search for knowledge, I went ahead and joined them, and I just decided I was going to travel with them.
so Thoradin was like, I'm hanging out with Lilo. Lilo just can't stand the red brands. Neither can I. We have that in common. We had a few drinks together. We decided we're going to adventure.
That's the start of it all. Then one night at the bar, we were having drinks. I got complimented on my beard.
Playing some 3-card Dragon Ante, it's called.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then Guy Claypool and Thoradin and Lilo were just like, yeah, let's go on an adventure. And then Desdonia's like, I shall accompany you. And just joined. Okay.
I
More
was
the
very
merrier.
old and wise.
I decided they might have something to teach me since there's so many differences in the group.
Gotcha. Lilo, what do you think of Desdonia?
Well, you're a very mysterious woman, but I do respect the magics quite a bit. You don't have anything against the red brands at all, do you?
I do not.
Oh, well, I will teach you a thing or two about making sure you hate them.
Okay.
They're terrible people.
Why do you hate them? In this conversation with Desdonia.
Here I was just living my life, playing some 3-card Dragon Ante, and what do you know, those ruffians, they come trying to kill me. It's a good thing that I'm so stealthy and tumbly and nimble. Otherwise, I'd never have been able to escape.
Well, why did they try to kill you?
Well, that is a story for another day.
Do other groups try to kill you? Or only
he must be saying the truth. The red brands are always up to no good.
Interesting. I've never had a problem with these red brands.
Well, I am sure that we're going to run into them and then we'll teach them a lesson.
If you say so.
One day I'd love to hear this story about how they've wronged you. That sounds like personally important to you, and when we're a little bit closer, I'd love it if you'd share that with me.
Yes, I think that would be wise if you did.
Sure thing. Good news that you have me on the trip too, because I've been to this Fendelin place and I know it well. That was the place that they tried to kill me, in fact.
Oh, wow. And
here we are going back to them.
And I heard it's one of their strong settlements and they've been causing havoc around town. Just like my old crew, which I hate.
Oh, man.
Well, there seems to be a lot of hate in this group.
Hey, by the way, you don't... I'm asking Desmunda. You don't happen to know a wizard named, let's see, Glasstaff. Do you?
It doesn't cross my mind at the moment.
Or maybe Glassstaff. Yes, it's probably pronounced Glassstaff. All right, well, let me know if it rings a bell someday later. You wizards, you stick together, don't you?
Why do you ask?
Well, he's the head of the Red Bands, and he's a wizard.
Interesting. No, I do not know this.
What's his name?
Glassstaff.
No.
Real bad guy. Gotta watch out for his magics.
Well, I'm not a bad person, so I don't see why I would know a very bad guy.
Well, you know, you wizard types, you like to learn all the spells you want. Doesn't matter if they're good, doesn't matter if they're from bad people sometimes, as long as you can learn, right? Am I right?
Well, I hate bullies and we should go take them down as soon as possible.
Well, it's lucky for you that the Red Brands are in Phandalin and you have been sent by Gundren to take this wagon to Phandalin. So you're continuing down this high road. It's a beautiful forested area. There's trees on either side. You hear the birds chirping. For you especially, Thoradin, it's probably really nice because there's a lot of nature. But you know, the forest does press in pretty close on both sides, and you've been told to watch out for bandits. So you keep
It's
a wary
like
eye.
God, it's giving me a warm hug as the forest presses around our wagon.
Speaking of the wagon, it does take someone to drive it. Who's driving the wagon, and where is everybody else? Are they riding, walking, following?
I have a proficiency in vehicles.
Okay, fine.
So I'll drive the wagon, yeah.
I'll
Nice.
make sure that the beast of the wagon feel comfortable in this.
How do you make sure that the oxen feel comfortable?
I have animal friendship and speak with animals.
But what does that look like? Are you petting them or?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go up to him, and then in his language I go, "Well, hello there."
Okay, so you're just actually just walking alongside the oxen and talking, like keeping up a
I'm
conversation with them.
I straight up tell him my whole life story, ask him about if he wants to talk about like relationship with like other oxen or something.
And you say in his language, what language or proficiency are you actually using?
Speak with animals ritual. So I guess before the trip, I would take 10 minutes to set up my speaking with animals ritual.
Gotcha.
It involves like, petting the animal,
Okay.
collecting flowers.
So everyone else is actually just watching you walk alongside the oxen and actually speaking oxen. So you're actually going.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Gotcha.
the whole trip. And I'm
Gotcha.
like, yeah, relationship advice, bonding
Okay.
time. I'm
And
probably
Lilo and Desdonia, what are you guys doing? Where are you walking?
I am just walking alongside.
Okay.
Well, unlike that dwarf talking to the oxen, I make sure to chat up everyone here. I'm a very friendly fellow. I like talking with everybody.
Is there anyone in particular that you have a particular connection to that you want to talk with the most?
Well, I'll try to catch Thoradin when he's not busy talking with an oxen, but I also want to make sure to
I'm
talk
sorry,
with
I'm talking to Jeanette over there.
when he doesn't look so busy, but when he is busy talking with Jeanette, I make sure to talk with everyone else in this caravan about how many people are we escorting.
It's just you guys in the wagon.
Oh, it's just exactly us four. I didn't.
So I accept to talk to you, but every time I talk to you, I'm translating to Jeanette. And then I tell her also her opinion about the whole scenario.
Sure. And I make sure to talk to Desdonia too when I notice that she's just kind of walking. You seem lonely. Hey, we're good. We're partying now.
Yes, we are. I'm just just reading up on my history.
Well, you know what? You came to the right place because I know everything there is to know about Phandalin.
Yes, tell me then. Tell me what you know.
Well, did you know that Phandalin is an older, it's built on the top of the ruins of an older settlement? You wizard types might like to research those. So there's all sorts of gold and platinum being mined in Phandalin right now. Everyone's making it rich, and that's why the red brands have come around. So
And you say there's an evil wizard there.
yeah, that's the head of the red brands, Glassstaff.
Interesting.
Seems
And have
like-
you ever seen him in person?
I have not.
Then how do you know?
Well, I know a lot of stuff. I have a lot of contacts,
Yes. And what contact do you have there?
Well, I wouldn't be a very good rogue if I told you all my contacts now, would I?
Maybe.
Anyways, I know a guy, and that guy knows a guy, and through them, I know some things.
What else is there to know about this city? So there's gold and things.
Yeah, I mean, lots of miners, maybe some research on some ruins, maybe some, there's these red brands causing all sorts of havoc. That's about the basics of it.
And you'll fight these people when we get there.
Yeah. And you will too.
Very well.
So you guys have been chatting and kind of rumbling along, guys driving the wagon, and you have been on the Tribord Trail for about half a day, made the turn from the high road to the Tribord Trail. And as you come around a bend, all of a sudden there's kind of an eeriness you feel. The birds aren't chirping as much, and you notice there are 2 dead horses sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path. Yeah, it looks really ugly. It's very, very disturbing. Each of the horses has several black feathered arrows sticking out of it, and the woods press close to the trail here with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. So you see that these horses have been presumably shot by arrows and are now lying dead about 50 feet ahead of you.
Must be the red brands, always up to no good.
Yeah, that sounds like something they would do.
Killing for no reason.
What do you guys do? Do you stop the wagon? Do you keep going? What
Yeah,
do
we
you do?
definitely stop the wagon so we don't run over the bodies. Hey,
Good, because that sounds really disturbing.
Hey, Thornton and Lilo and Desdemona. Desdonia. Could you move those horses out of the way so we can
Desdonia, you mind if I call you Desi?
Sure, that is fine.
That's great,
thank
Desi.
God. Oh man, that name's so hard. Desi and Lilo and Thornton, could you move the bodies out of the road so we can keep on going?
We should
respectfully.
Right ahead.
We should probably bury them and give them a proper goodbye.
And Thor, you seem like the type of person who'd be really good at seeing what was going on. I just make sure to use my hands really well. I think you can use your eyes really well. Why don't you see what's happening?
I'll go ahead and
happened to
say a prayer for them, and I immediately put my head down and pray.
You do believe in God as well? Are you a believer in the
Yes,
one?
Timora. Wait, did you say Timora?
What does Timora do?
Oh, Timora, she's the goddess of good luck and fortune.
No. I don't
No?
believe in luck. I believe in doing what's right.
I think you'll find that luck is what runs the world as I shuffle my deck and I just pick one out and it's the ace.
I need the name of a nature god or some kind of god of justice.
I'm a baby DM. I don't have those things memorized.
I'm a big fan of Sune. She's pretty amazing.
What does she do?
Oh, she's all about life and light, and she's got this beautiful red hair, and when I think about what I'd really like to do, which is not fighting but playing music, she's what I dream of. She's where I get my
It would be a
inspiration
terrible
from.
thing if some ruffians like the Red Brand set this up for a trap. When people went and investigated, they ambushed. So I look around, make sure that no one's ambushing us. I guess I'll roll.
Wait, sorry, I missed that last part you said.
I make sure that we're not walking into an ambush as we go to these horses. By looking.
So you're like searching for traps?
Searching for people with bows.
Okay, sure. Make a perception check.
Sure. 14.
Give me a second. Yeah, you notice as you kind of look around, you see that there looks to be a couple kind of scuffly footprinty type marks on either side of the road. And right where the horses are, you kind of notice there seems to be like a little tip of an arrow just kind of like awkwardly sticking out of one of the bushes.
A tip of an arrow as in a drawn arrow or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like, like someone's holding it and it's kind of like just sticking out of the bush. Do you relay that to the rest of the party?
I pull out my short bow and I attack the arrow.
Whoa, okay. You take an attack that at something that you don't see, right?
Yes,
I guess you see the location.
I can. I know the arrow's location, so I can kind of discern based off of that.
I think you have to do it at disadvantage.
That's fair. And as I do it, I'll yell out, "There's someone hiding there!" 1d20 plus 5, and then disadvantage. I rolled an 8.
You shoot an arrow, and it goes, and it seems to hit nothing, and the arrow immediately goes and comes back into the bush and goes.
You come out of the bushes. Why did you hurt these horses? Were they sick?
You hear no response from the bushes. You're still so you stopped about 50 feet away, is that right? Or did you get any closer?
However close it was required to see what you described.
Well, you can see, but let's see if you can. I'm going to say that you are as far away as you can shoot, which I believe is plenty far. Yeah.
Sure, 80 feet.
Yeah, so I think you guys, when I told you that you saw the horses, that was about 50 feet away, and you said you stopped there. So you're about 50 feet away from the horses, and then on one side of it, you saw that little arrow.
Hey, you guy, you're pretty strong, right? Lead the way.
What are you shooting arrows up there for, man?
There's
not time for target practice.
There's bow there.
I'll see, Bo.
It's right there. The bushes giggled at us.
I'll get off set the reins down, pull up my greatsword, and start walking up towards these bushes.
Geraldine, do you think that there's an enemy in these bushes? I forgot her name.
Geraldine, it's Jeanette. The ox goes, it's Jeanette.
Oh, sorry. I once met another oxen called Geraldine, who was also very lovely. Jeanette, do you know what's behind this bush?
Jeanette seems more interested in trying to eat the leaves on the side of the road since you guys aren't driving the wagon forward. She doesn't care.
Oh, I'll get that for you.
Great. So as Thoradin is feeding the oxen, I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Should I roll as well with penalty or not even?
Yeah, actually you should roll. Okay, everyone roll initiative, and then also everyone roll perception, except for Lilo, who has already done so. And roll initiative if you can from your character sheet, because then it'll put you in the correct order.
For it.
It should be. Let me look for you.
Oh crap!
So your initiative will be upper middle right below where it says
Oh, there we
race.
go.
Yeah, if you just click on the word initiative, it'll roll it and put you right in the
what
turn
else
order.
did you want us to roll?
Perception, which will be on the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't know why it made double roll. Kind of confused.
Oh, because it gives you an advantage roll.
You'll need to bring your tokens onto the screen before they'll be put into the initiative order, though.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I'm also learning Roll20 at the same time. I can copy paste you over. It'll take me a second if you want to talk amongst yourselves.
I don't think bushes giggle. But, like, if you say so, man, I trust you.
Are you sure this is a foe to us?
I don't know.
I mean, shouldn't we talk to the person first before attacking them?
I like what she's saying.
I think we already killed some horses.
But what if the person is friendly? You just killed anybody?
Maybe the horses were sick.
That makes you no better than those red guys you were talking about.
How do you know that if there are dead horses and there's people hiding in bushes with arrows drawn with bows pointing towards you, they're probably not good people.
What if they were the ones that were attacked and they ran to the bushes? We don't know that. I'm just saying here.
You know, you cover the book smarts, I'll cover the street smarts.
I'm almost done, guys. Sorry. This takes a long time. Who am I missing? Lilo? There we go. Okay.
I see.
All right. So there you all are. And I'm just going to add you individually to the turn order, I guess.
Bushes. Is there anything in there? Hello?
All right. So Thoradin rolled a 6.
I was talking to Jeanette.
6.
All
right.
rolled an 11.
Desdonia is at 11. And Lilo rolled a 6. And that means, all right. And then as far as perception, it looks like, wow. So actually, only Desdonia sees what Lilo has already seen, which is a goblin hiding in the bushes. And she sees that one with the arrow as well as another one right next to it. Everyone else is surprised when 2 goblins hop out, one from either side of the trail. So there was one in the bushes with a bow and arrow, and 2 hop out with scimitars and look at you menacingly and giggle again.
Oh, no!
Yeah, so everyone except for Desdonia is surprised and loses their first turn. But Desdonia, you can go ahead and make... Well, actually, I need to roll initiative for the goblin. Oh, no. Why did it do that? Goblin. It keeps putting it in as Lilo.
Do you have Lilo's character token clicked?
Yep, that's why. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome.
All right. The goblin's initiative is 6, so Desdonia does get to go first. So, Desdonia, you can do whatever you like as you see these goblins jump out into the lane 50 feet ahead of you.
The first goblin I attack with burning hands.
So you need to touch it for burning hands, I believe, right?
Oh, yes. Can I go up to it and touch it, or can I not reach in this turn?
You can move, I believe, 50 or 30 feet is your movement speed. Is that right?
Burning Hands is that 15-foot cone thing.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know your spells, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is that right?
Yes. It
In
says
fact, goblins are within, if they're close to each other, she could get more of them than just one.
Mm-hmm. So the goblins are, let's say the lane is What's a reasonable amount? Let's say it's 20 feet wide. All right. The goblins are 5 feet from each edge, so they're about 10 feet apart. And then there's one in the bushes that you've seen, which is 5 feet away from the other one. So the spread of the goblins is approximately 15 feet.
So technically, I could go up to them and cone them all.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you stood exactly 15 feet away from them and you had 15 feet wide. Great. All right. So roll for me.
Close to them, like to the middle one, and I do the cone then.
Great. And roll your damage.
Okay.
I guess they need to do a save versus that, right?
They need to do a dexterity save.
Great. All right. So the goblins.
Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw.
Right. And they need to do that versus your spell DC. So what's your spell DC? I can find out. I think. Desdonia.
My spell. I don't know.
I know, it's hard to find. Hold on. I know where it is on my character sheet, but
I don't know what it.
This is so because it doesn't give me like the second page of your character sheet. Anyone in chat is welcome to backseat game this if you have any idea what the elf wizard spell DC would be or where I would. Oh,
it's going to be
there.
8 plus
there
her
it is. It's 13. I found it. It's 13. So that means you do this, and it's if they successfully save, they take half damage. Is that right? According to what's written on the spell.
Yes.
Awesome.
No. It says a creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Yes.
Okay.
You're correct.
So they take half damage.
Yes.
And does any of you know if you're doing a spell that's like an AoE and you roll damage for it, does it apply that damage to each or spread out over all three? Like split up?
Same damage to each one.
Okay, cool. All right. So you
OP.
roll me your damage.
Okay.
All right. So 10. Ooh, that is a nasty fire. So this cone of coal or this cone of burning comes from your hands, and it's righteous looking. It's just scalding. 2 of the goblins on either side manage to just barely jump out of the way because they're at the edges of your cone, and they only get hit with half of the damage, but the one in the middle just gets toasted. And that one is deadzo. It is burned to a crisp. The other 2 just look badly scalded.
That's what you get.
All right. So next up is...
Nice shot, Desi.
Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot something. Just give me a second. Baby DM, we have patience. You guys can see the whole turn order, huh? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Good to know.
I guess you were correct. They were evil, it looks like.
Okay.
If I could cast that fancy thing, I would have started with it.
Well, I had to make sure. I happened to see that they were goblins, and we all know goblins are not good creatures.
All right, so as soon as that happens, the goblins get real mad. And the ones with, the one left with a scimitar comes charging right at Desdonia and makes a scimitar attack against Desdonia. So that attack, they're real mad. You just killed that goblin's brother, and it is pissed off, and it attacks for 22, which I believe is a hit.
Ooh, I believe it is.
So that does 4 brutal slashing damage, like right across your abdomen with that scimitar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that goblin's right in your melee range. Then you hear from the bushes yet another giggle and 2 volleys of arrows come out from either side. So lo and behold, there's one goblin on one side, one on the other, and they're both shooting arrows out of the bushes. One of them shoots at Guy, who is sitting still on the wagon, I believe, right?
I got off and I was walking towards them when the ambush started.
All right. Well, one of those attacks for 15.
That will hit.
And that does 5 piercing damage, so right in your shoulder.
Ooh.
Ouch. And the other one, they're trying to just take all y'all down, so the other one's going for Thoradin and shoots with the short bow. Oh no, it crits Thoradin.
Congratulations on rolling a 20.
Ooh, it's a really well placed shot, and it just like, I don't know, where does a crit shot hit you, Thoradin? I think it's right in the butt. It crits you right in the butt because you're talking to Jeanette. You're not paying attention to the fight. It just hits you right in the butt, and it does 3 damage plus 2 piercing damage. So you actually get away with almost no problem with it being a crit.
So 6?
Yep. No, 5. 5 total. Yeah. It rolled very poorly on its damage, even though it got 2 tries.
Well, I'm still at half life now. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Whoa. That is not nice, pesky goblin.
All right. So the goblins have now finished, and everyone else lost their turn. So it goes to it goes back to Guy.
So I'm going to run towards where the arrow came to me. You said that was like in a bush nearby?
Mm-hmm. On either side of the horses, there's bushes, and the arrows came out of there.
I will go to the bush where the arrow that struck me came from.
Okay.
And is that within my movement range?
If you had already started walking, then yes.
Great. Then I'm going to get like inside the bush or like walk through the bush and take a swing at any little pesky goblin I might see around me.
Let's see. Why don't you roll a perception check to see whether or not you actually see the goblin or whether you're just swinging wildly at the bush.
That sounds fair. A 9?
The goblin manages actually to remain hidden. So you are swinging wildly at the bush, but you still have a chance to hit it. So roll me at disadvantage your attack.
All right. At disadvantage. That is just a regular attack.
So just roll me another one.
Clicked it.
Why is it only showing me one?
There we go. 21.
Still very good. Okay, so you swing wildly at the bush, and the goblin goes, because you managed to actually just completely slice it in half. You slice the bush in half, and half of the bush and half of the goblin fall to one side, and the rest of the bush with the goblin's bottom is just sitting there. So
wonderful.
Well done.
And now I'm like partway in the bush, right? I'm gonna like drop down to one knee and take a look at this goblin and see what he's like wearing and what's going on with him, and also maybe like get myself below the line of cover, so like I'll stop being hit.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can take cover in a bush. Like the bush that you just chopped is kind of maimed, but you managed to maybe pull some of it back up, and you're kind of, you're in cover now. And you, as far as examining the goblin, I mean, it looks like it's just wearing some dirty rags and it's all bloody and kind of caked, but it looks like every goblin that you've ever seen before. Nothing special about it.
No like red brand symbol plastered across his chest or like a logo on his forehead or something.
No, just some like gross animal bones that maybe it thought was a necklace, and like a half-eaten rotten apple tied to its belt.
Art is art, no matter where you find it.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up is Desdonia, who had just gotten slashed in melee with this goblin, who's now standing looking up at you like, eh.
Oh, that hurts, you evil thing. And I guess what can I do?
He's also, remember, completely covered in burns because you had scalded him, and he's looking at you with his flesh still crackling.
I just take one of my short. I'm close enough that I could just take a short sword at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just do that.
All right, roll me an attack with your short sword. Just click on the short sword on your character sheet.
I'm doing that, and it's doing nothing. Oh, here we go. Wrong one.
Nice. You hit the goblin, and he is so burnt and wasted. How do you hit him? Do you slash him? What do you do?
I take him, and since he's laughing at me, I just slash him.
All right. You also you hack him so hard that it just kind of like goes through his shoulder into his chest, and he goes ugh, and dies on your sword.
And then I whip it back and just immediately sheath it again.
Nice. Sheathing the bloody sword. Badass.
Wow,
I wipe it on something first. I don't want blood on my outfit.
What do you wipe on?
I wipe it on the nearest bush.
Okay.
Some leaves.
So Desdonia's like, ew, and she's just like wiping her sword on a bush.
What is wrong with you?
All right.
You have to respect your environment.
There is one goblin left, and it is in the bushes. It sees Desdonia take down yet another of its comrades, and she seems to just look upon that with disdain. So that goblin shoots another arrow from the bushes with a short bow, and it goes wide. I think. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it just like
missed, petty little goblin.
It goes, ah! And then it's Lila's turn.
Okay, this goblin's fired twice now. Should I be able to pinpoint its location at this point?
It's still in cover, so you can try to hit it.
Yeah, I'll
cover is different than being.
I'll try to get up to it and then melee it with my sword.
Sure. I think I'm doing cover wrong because I think there's actually a mathematical side to it. Because I was doing it via stealth, but I'm just going to say you do it disadvantage like Neil did. So, or roll perception first like Neil did. We're making it up as we go. Roll me perception.
Okay. Let's see.
At advantage, because you did see where he was.
Great.
Okay,
cool.
You crit it. You see, it's like the goblin is glowing. You know exactly where it is, and you absolutely can roll your attack and know exactly what you're hitting.
Yeah, I drop the bow as I pull out the two short swords on both sides of myself, and I swing at him with the first one and then the second one.
All right. Well, the first one, because I don't know why it's rolling me both. Interesting. Well, basically, you didn't need to do that. You just made a shish kebab of this goblin, and it dies before you've even hit it with your second sword. It's super dead. You're just kind of chopping it up at this point. For
reference, I didn't get the extra 5 on the sneak attack there.
Gotcha. Well, either way, it's super duper dead. So you guys have just like a slew of goblin carnage just lying about, got dead horses, and all is again quiet.
My, such vile creatures attacking horses for no reason. I hate goblins as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I knew it was a trap.
We must bury these horses at once.
If there's like goblins around, maybe we should get going. Like, I know burying horses is kind of important, but like, it's gonna take a long time to dig a hole that big, and I only have one shovel, so like, we might get ambushed again if we're having to like dig two giant holes.
Is this a combat shovel?
You know what? It is. It totally is a combat shovel.
My, what a beautiful piece of art. Only the finest shovel creators would
Desdonia looks
create
pleased
such a piece.
for taking down some of the goblins. And also kind of listens a little bit more since he was correct in that it was dangerous. So
wow, Desi! I don't see very many wizards use swords in combat. You're incredible.
Well, you have to be well versed in many things. You never know when the occasion rises.
True enough.
Fine. I won't bury the horses, but at least I will say a few words. Especially with poor Jeanette here, who's completely distraught.
Jeanette's just chewing on some leaves like... And the other oxen is feeling very ignored and kind of like looks disdainfully at Jeanette.
I asked Jeanette if she wants to actually pay the honors.
Jeanette shakes her head with her mouth full.
I just start moving oxen or horses off the road during all this.
As soon as you approach the horses, you notice that, definitely these horses were ambushed just like you guys were. There's arrows in them, and you notice that the saddlebags have since been looted, and there's an empty leather map case sitting over to the side. And as you look at these horses, they look kind of familiar to you. In fact, you think that these horses might have belonged to Gundren and Sildar.
Isn't that my family?
Yeah, and in fact, Gundren, you remember, is not only your cousin, but the person who sent you on this mission to guard this wagon and take it to Phandalin. And remember, he and Sildar went ahead saying they had business to take care of. So, especially Thoradin, once you start looking at these horses, you start to get pretty concerned, thinking that maybe Gundren and Sildar were ambushed.
Oh, no! By the might of Tyr, god of justice, which I worship! My family has been ambushed. We must act. We cannot let this be. This is unfair. This is unjust. This isn't right. I start looking through the horses stuff.
And as Thoradin wails and prays to their god, we shall take a brief break. And when we come back, we will continue this adventure in the Lost Mine. So don't go anywhere. It'll just be a few minutes. We might play some ads. That's one way that we try to support the Misscliks channel. And stick around. We'll be right back with part 2.